Yo, welcome back everybody to a brand new video here on the second channel, and today I'm going to be reacting and looking at some brand new cards that just got revealed tonight from Japan. We got a brand new Mega Evolution line of Gengar and a Mega Diancie EX. I'm pretty excited to react and look at these new cards. They are going to be part of battle decks, so I think they're going to be kind of like how we saw the Marnie's Grimmsnarl and the Stevens Metagross decks. I think it's going to be something similar to that when these do release over here in English. Last time we had a Mega Gengar and a Mega Diancie, I don't think they were very playable in the X and Y era, so hopefully these ones are a little bit better. I've already seen one of the cards revealed, which is kind of ridiculous that this card actually got printed. We'll talk about that in just a moment. I'll leave a link to PokeBeach down below if you want to go check out any of the cards for yourself. And if you're new here to the second channel, make sure to subscribe down below. And yeah, let's get into it here. Starting off, we got the Gengar deck stuff. We got new Ghastly, new Haunter. It'll come with an illustration for Haunter. And then we got the big Mega Gengar EX. Now, this is a Stage 2 Dark-type Pokemon with a whopping 350 HP. And also, being a Dark-type in general won't be a bad thing right now versus Gardevoir EX. So, assuming this card comes out and Guardy's still good, this will be a good card to have in the format against Guardy. It does have an ability and an attack. Now, this ability actually looks pretty good. It's got Shadow Hiding. If one of your Dark Pokemon get knocked out by damage from your opponent's attack from an EX Pokemon, your opponent takes one less prize card. The ability does not stack. So you can't have like two Mega Gengars in play and make all your EX Pokemon that are Dark types be unable to be given up any prizes. But this ability is very powerful. Now, it's only on Dark Pokemon, obviously, but you can actually protect a lot of pretty important Dark types. Like, of course, the Mega Gengar itself, which is a 3-prizer, because it's a Mega, well, now it's a 2-prizer. You can also protect stuff like your Enzork EX. You can protect your Pheasantipity EX, which is actually pretty good. Having a Mega Gengar EX in play lets you safely have a Pheasantipity on the board, because now your Pheasantipity only gives up one prize card to a Pokemon EX. Now, honestly, this ability is really good because most decks right now use EXs. There are some one-prize shenanigans out there with like Drifloon and Screamtail, Scizor, Baby Raging Bolt, and it only works with damage from an attack, looking like how the ability is worded, so your opponent can obviously still try to get around you with like Poison or Phantom Dive or something, but or Monkey Dory damage, but yeah, this ability is really powerful. Also, Gengar is really tough to knock out. Having 350 HP does make this card pretty safe to have on the bench, and it's not a bad attacker either. It's got the attack Void Gale, which for 2 Dark Energy does 230 damage, and you move 1 energy from this Pokemon to one of your bench Pokemon. It's got one of those type of attacks. 230 is actually really good numbers. Only for 2 energy is pretty cheap. I mean, 230 is knocking out most big basics like Iron Hands EX, Miraidon, Pheasantipity, Teal Mask, stuff like that. You could play this with like Janine's Secret Art as a way to build it up, so you can Janine your Mega Gengar, poison it, and then basically get a free energy on it, you can attach for turn, and then you can Void Gale with a Binding Mochi to do 270 damage, and now all of a sudden you're knocking out Goldengo EXs and Raging Bolt EX in one hit. And I think the ability works on itself, so I guess this Gengar, against an EX Pokemon anyways, only gives up 2 prize cards because of its ability, which is actually really cool. Yeah, this card is pretty strong. I like it quite a bit. Being a Dark type ain't bad either, because again, you're just going to be better into Gardevoir, which, you know, if this card does release, I don't know when it's coming out. I didn't really look into that. But if it's coming out in like November or something, or December, this card could be pretty good to have if Guardy stays relevant. There is obviously the other Gengar EX in the format you can play this with, the one that moves energy around with its attack and its ability to pile more damage up. So you do have that you can play with it. I think there's a Gengar that gives you like a free switch out. So you do have some cool Gengars you can pair with this card. I like this card a lot. It's really powerful. There's another new Dark type card we're going to look at that will probably be okay with this card over maybe Binding Mochi, but you can also like use Petron EX to poison the Mega Gengar and use it with Mochi. I like this card a lot with Binding Mochi the more I think about it. All right, we do have a new Honchkrow here, which isn't anything too crazy. It's got a Snipe Feather for 2 Dark and a Colorless Energy. Discard 2 energy from this Pokemon. The attack does 120 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Not too shabby. It's like fine. I don't think you're going to play with Mega Gengar because you're not really able to get the Dark Energy on it very easily. We have a new Sableye. This one might actually be okay with Gengar. It's got the attack Angry Claw, which for a single Dark Energy does 90 damage if you have a Stage 2 Dark Pokemon in play. So obviously, if you have a Mega Gengar in play, the Sableye gets to do 1 for 90. If it gets knocked out by an EX Pokemon with the Mega Gengar on the board, you give up no prize cards, which is kind of cool. It's like a free 90 damage effectively. So yeah, it might be okay in the Mega Gengar deck. It can knock out little guys like Charmanders and Dreepies and Ralts and Budews and stuff, which is kind of cool. So not a bad little card for the Gengar deck. If the Gengar deck ever sees play, the Sableye definitely feels like a nice little support mon to have in the deck. We have a new tool card, Punk Helmet. When the active dark Pokemon this card is attached to is damaged by an opponent's attack, you put 4 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. Not a bad little way to get damage on the board either. Though, again, I don't know how good this will be with Mega Gengar, because like I said, I kind of like the idea of pairing Gengar with Binding Mochi, but I can see this tool card being okay in Gengar. You can punish the opponent for attacking with Budew, which is kind of funny. You can put this on, and then if they Itchy Pollen you, they get knocked out on a dark Pokemon, which is kind of cool. This card might be okay within Grimmsnarl. Grimmsnarl doesn't really play a tool card that lets it do damage. Like, it's mostly just TM Evo, Air Balloon, and TM Devolution. Honestly, I could see Grimmsnarl maybe playing one Punk Helmet. It's not a bad card for a deck like Grimmsnarl. I can see it being okay. I guess you could play Grimmsnarl and Gengar together. I don't think there's much... I mean, the synergy is there with the ability. I guess this actually does work with Charizard EX too, which is kind of crazy. If this card comes out the same time Charizard EX is still in the format, your Charizard EX gives a 1 prize card to an EX Pokemon. That's pretty diabolical, actually. All right, next up we have Mega Diancie. Now, this card does have 270 HP. It's a big, basic Mega Pokemon that gives up 3 prizes, 270 HP, but has an ability, Diamond Coat, where it does take 30 less damage from attacks, effectively making it so you have to do 300 damage or more to one-shot the Diancie. It's a decent tank, I guess. It's like a decent little tank for, the big basic. It's not terrible. And then it does have 1 attack, Garland Ray, which for 2 psychic energy does 120 damage, discard to up to 2 energy from this Pokemon. The attack does 120 damage for each energy discarded in this way. So you can do 240 damage if you discard 2 psychic energy from the Diancie. It's not a bad little attack. This could be a nice big basic deck when the other better big basics rotate, like the Moon and the Raging Bull loses Sada, when Miraidon rotates. Maybe this will be another good big basic deck. This card did just gain a huge new support card, by the way, I'm going to talk about in just a sec. This card I don't think will be that great in Gardevoir EX. I don't really see Gardevoir playing this card, even though it does synergize really nicely with Gardevoir, obviously. But I don't know if Guardy will play this card. We have a new Alchemy here, Sweet Circle. Does 20 damage for 1 psychic energy for each Pokemon you have in play. It's like a pretty vanilla card. A lot of the cards like the Honchko and the Alcremie and stuff, they're just kind of vanilla. This Meloetta isn't very good either, because these are in League Battle decks, so they're not really designed to be like over-the-top good. So the Meloetta just heals 120 from your bench psychic Pokemon. Don't see this being very good, even in a meta with like some spread archetypes. This is probably the best card revealed, though. Wonder Patch. Yes, Pokemon just printed Dark Patch for Psychic Pokemon, as if Psychic Pokemon didn't need enough support cards already, or have enough broken cards. We now have another broken card for Psychic types, attach a basic Psychic Energy from a discard pile to one of your bench Psychic Pokemon. So we've had Dark Patch, we've had Aqua Patch, we've had Metal Patch. Now we got Psychic Patch. Did Pokemon need to print this card? I don't know. This maybe was just designed as a way to still make Psychic Pokemon relevant when Gardevoir rotates. Gardevoir will be rotating soon, and I guess when Gardevoir EX rotates, Psychic types will get a bit weaker, so maybe they designed this card to make them playable, because this card is actually pretty good with the Mega Gardevoir EX. You can use this card with Mega Gardevoir to do more damage after Guardy EX rotates, so this could keep Mega Guardy alive. Also not a bad card with stuff like Lily's Clefairy. So that's kind of cool. Obviously, this card's pretty good with Mega Diancie too, so you can use this with the Diancie as a way to build up its attack, and then kind of just keep spamming the 120 damage. It only works on the bench, though, so you have to power up something on the bench. But like I said, there are some pretty good options, like the Mega Guardian, the Clefairy, and the Mega Diancie that this is coming in. I think there's a few other cards that got revealed. Pokebeach hasn't added them to the website yet. There's like a Eternatus, an Absol, a Gramble, a Cresselia, but they're all pretty unplayable. Like, they're not really any good, to be honest. Like, they're not really worth talking about. They're really the most worthwhile cards talking about were Wonder Patch, the Diancie. The Tool card is decent, and then the Sableye is like okay, but then obviously the Gengar's pretty good. I don't think anything else crazy got revealed. Again, the other Pokemon that weren't revealed or weren't shown here are not very good, and they're not really worth talking about. So if you want to go to your way to look at that on like Twitter, you can. They're not really that good, though, so it was more worthwhile talking about these cards. But yeah, the Mega Gengar, I think, is actually really cool, and it's cool that Dark types are getting this support card. It does look like a pretty powerful card. The ability is pretty broken, I'm not going to lie, and being a 350 HP Dark type Stage 2 isn't bad either. And then, of course, Wonder Patch is a pretty crazy card. Let me know what you think of these new cards down below. Do you think the Mega Diancie could be good? Do you think the Wonder Patch was necessary? Probably not. We could have got maybe like a Fighting Patch or a Grass Patch or even a Lightning Patch. I guess Lightning Patch would have been a little too OP because we already have Generator, but you got my point. We could have got patches for other types. We could have even just brought back Metal Saucer at that point. It's crazy they gave it Psychic I don't think this card is going to be that good right off the gate, by the way, when it comes out, if Guardy's still in the format. Guardy's just a better way to play Psychic types right now. But like I said, Guardy rotates this card. It will be good. All right, thanks for watching, guys. I'll leave a link to Pokebeach down in the description below if you want to check it out for yourself. If you're new to the channel, subscribe down below, and I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.